Hello Reds, thank you very much for tuning in on our daily Liverpool news show. If you are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Anyway, hopefully you had a lovely evening off the back of Liverpool's draw at home to Arsenal Football Club, really. So I wanted to jump on tonight, really, and discuss, really, the Taki. I think he's very much took a lot of the result. Obviously, everyone's had their thoughts on the game, and after the game, I've seen a lot on social media from obviously opposition fans as well. Just Taki Minamino, it always used to be if Liverpool didn't get a result, it was certain players within the squad. And for me, he took a large brunt of obviously the press after the game, and really, how you doing, John? Big up, mate. Hope you're well. Not too bad, John. Thank you for tuning in as well. But just we'll be speaking about the Brentford, your starting 11. Who would you go with in your midfield? Three, possibly. Would you change it? Bring in Ox? Would you possibly bring in Curtis? Possibly those two. Obviously, Fabinho sitting in behind them, really. But John, let us know your thoughts. And everyone, if you're watching this on the repeat, I will be replying to every single one of them as well, so I really do appreciate it. But yeah, it was a bit of a mad game, and obviously just reading through a lot of social media today, and Taki, just amount of stick Taki did get. I know he didn't step up to the plate last night, but every single player apart from Alisson last night didn't step up to the plate at the expected level in which you are representing Liverpool Football Club. I know he's not quite a Haaland or Mbappe, but it's Taki Minamino, and for me, given the various, he's not played a lot of minutes this season. Obviously, it's difficult when you've got players that are on form as Jota, Salah, Sadio Mane as well. How good they have played, but the brief moments in which he has had in the Carabao Cup this season, I think he scored like 5 goals in the competition, and we wouldn't be in this position in relation to him obviously leading the line for us in this competition. But he had his opportunity last night, and it was I think the whole blame of the result got thrust upon Taki Minamino's shoulders, really. I think it was very unfair, especially from what I've seen on social media anyway. Maddie, thank you very much for tuning in, mate. James Milner and Jordan Henderson can never play in the same midfield ever again. They're finished at the top level, and my name is Shane. Cheers, Shane. Anyway, appreciate it, matey. Obviously, there's that many YouTube names. Everyone's commenting, but appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much for commenting. Anyway, you support you, Shane, John, every single one. He's ever watch it on the repeat as well. But yeah, Shane, I very much agree with what you've had to say there, fella, in relation to that midfield. Two, most important, as you said, does not work, and it's up to Jurgen Klopp now. Obviously, with the big Brentford, and obviously off the back of obviously the Arsenal game as well, it's up to Jurgen Klopp. These questions have been asked not just last night, but it has been asked in European competitions as well. Does the questions do get asked? Will it be a case of Liverpool dipping the hands into the transfer window? But I don't think it's as easy as that. Obviously, Liverpool with their transfer strategy in recent times has been a case of playing the long game, waiting for our transfer target to become available. And if that's not the case, then Liverpool will very much go to that club and gazump them in relation to Virgil van Dijk, Alisson. We waited a while, but we eventually got our players, got our men in. Hope you are well, Jack La, the 1892 Reds podcast. Cheers for that, lads, as well. Appreciate it. For some reason, and hopefully I'll try and fix this now, but I'm gutted I can't get your comments, but I can see all your comments. Hopefully I'll get that sorted for Hannah as well. Evening, everyone. Fabian, how you doing, mate? Long time no see. Thank you very much for tuning in, fella. Sorry to say, but Klopp should prepare for missing players during AFCON. Yeah, for Fabian, you're absolutely spot on there. I think you're talking about in relation to his comments after the game, saying, I think it was very much said that with the no player, a lot of clubs would miss the player of the quality of obviously Mane and Salah and Naby. No club would cope with that, and I think I can understand where he's coming from. But this is Fabian spot on there. This has been going. Klopp's known about AFCON for a good year, And we've known that, obviously, losing Ginny, I know it frustrates a lot of Reds when we do speak about them, but when you lose a player of that quality as well, Fabian and everyone in chat, we frankly not replaced him, and we've been left threadbare. We put a lot of pressure on Harvey Elliott. He played the first 3 games in the Premier League, and I think he's got the quality and he's got the ability to start at the heart of Liverpool's midfield. But the lad's 17, 18 years old, and to put too much pressure on the young man's shoulders, he's going to be a tremendous player. Don't get me wrong, Reds, isn't he? So he's capable, and he's fully capable of playing week in, week out for Liverpool. But all our hopes and ambitions should not be thrust on the shoulders of Harvey Elliott. But you're absolutely spot on there. Fabian, it's great to see you in the comments, mate, as always. Your support and everyone as well. Ricky or Luke, I think it's Ricky, mate. Cheers for coming in the chat, mate, as well. And next episode, I will have that anyway. Hang on, let me just see if I can. But how you doing, Hannah? Evening, everyone. Yeah, of course. John, we all know he's going to play Millie Henderson again at the weekend. John, Reds, let me know. Get your midfield 3 in the comments. I'll read them all out anyway in relation. If you were Jurgen Klopp, or if you were tasked upon selecting Liverpool's main 3 to go head-to-head against Brentford this weekend. For me, I think I said before, for me personally, I would go with Fabinho in the holding role, as always. And for me, I'd be all for it. I'd be all for going Ox and Jones. I know that's very attacking, but you're at home. You're expected to get 3 points, and it's not as easy as we've seen this season, is it, Reds? Not as easy as just going a case of, right, there's our starting 11, and it probably was our strongest 11 that could have played, apart from obviously Salah, Mane and Naby against Arsenal, but the lads at the minute didn't quite do it. 1 second, everyone. Just trying to go. 1 second here, Reds. But yeah, make sure you do keep on getting your comments in as well. You're absolute legends. Bear with me 1 sec, just so I can get everyone's comments in. Let's do it, man. Just matter of just popping off the chat as well and just copying the hyperlink. But yeah, hope you had a lovely evening, everyone, as well. Really do appreciate you all tuning in. Absolute legends. And let me know if the audio and everything is okay, chat, as well. Really would appreciate it. There we go. Just copy that. Just so everyone watching can see everyone's comments. There we go. Yeah, spot on there, Reds. Apologies about that. I think I've just got to copy that and copy and paste that most times we go live. But we're learning new software. Shane's gone with it in his comments, as you can see there, Reds. I love all the players at the club for what they have done for us, but it is no time to leave some players go and bring some fresh faces in the summer. And we are not asking for much. Yeah, Shane, that's it. It is Reds as well, and as good as the players have, they will go down as legends. Some of them as well. Most importantly, the first league title in 30 odd years, the football club. It was more psychologically getting over that barrier in terms of we've seen past Liverpool teams come very close in the Premier League running, where they're like coming up against the likes of Man United back in the day. Obviously, City as well in recent times. It's not easy, but it's that mentality of we've got over the line once, we can do it again. Obviously, we've won the league 19 times anyway, so fingers crossed we can overhaul United. I think come Klopp's the end of his legacy at the football club and the history in which he's got, hopefully he can overtake Sir Alex Ferguson in terms of obviously not in Premier League, because Fergie was at Manchester United for a very long time and he done a very good job, sadly, for us Reds anyway, but that would be a lasting legacy if he did manage to eclipse Manchester United's title haul, which would be tremendous if Jurgen can do that. Still got a lot of years to go anyway, but a big investment. But yeah, you're absolutely spot on there, Shane. Anyway, keep saying summer 2020 was going to be our summer to rebuild. And I think we need to hold FSG to that. Hannah, very much agree with that. It's not going to come cheap as a Han, and everyone in chat. It's not going to be as easy as going, right, there's 200, 300 million. You've got to be the right players, the players with the right philosophy of football, wanting to come into the football club. But most importantly, you've got to be at the right quality. There's not many clubs out there around Europe at the minute that are very much free to allow their players to very much go to other clubs. If it was like, say, I know Inter aren't going to lose Barella, but if, say, Liverpool wanted to get a Barella or a Jude Bellingham to, say, to really add to our midfield, it's going to be, Liverpool Football Club would be paying, like most teams, would be paying the absolutely premium in relation to the transfer fee. And obviously you've got the likes of Newcastle, got a lot of money now. Everyone around Europe now knows and has known for a very long time, since the heavy influx of obviously the cash that is getting supplied to all around Europe due to the Premier League, the vast amounts of money. That's why you're seeing a lot of the teams wanting to go into the Super League. I know a lot of the English teams did, but they wanted to bridge that gap between the Premier League and clubs around Europe, because that's how good the Premier League is. We harp on about how good the league is, but what stands the Premier League apart from the rest of Europe is the vast amount of money in terms of revenue streams that all these clubs, you've got like Aston Villa, they're worth a couple of billion. They've got very rich owners as well. To be an established Premier League side, say in another 20 years, you will basically need a billionaire. You look at how struggling Norwich have been. I know everyone goes, typical Norwich getting relegated, but it's difficult when you look from their point of view, when you've got the likes of Liverpool in that bracket as well, because we pay vast amounts of fees in transfers, and obviously when we do buy players, and wages as well. So any club coming in from the likes of League One and even League Two now, you're looking at a certain Hollywood actor to buy you in Wrexham, just taking over obviously Ryan Reynolds. You need a lot of money to finance a football club, and the way it's going, it's a big show, and I think a lot of pundits and obviously content creators will be discussing this in the next couple of years, because it is a big talking point. Because the more we go in relation to the more money that does get heavily invested in football, you're looking at the teams in and around the bottom tiers of English football, and that will be struggling. Money has always dictated football. We've seen that with Sky when it come in, Manchester United, Blackburn, when they won the league, they spent a lot of money creating that side. Obviously City, when they've come in, Liverpool have spent a lot of money in recent times, close to probably over $1 billion, and not really won many league titles. Only once league title in 30 years. We spent so much money. This is why Jurgen Klopp's as good as he is. We know he doesn't require vast sums of money. He's a manager that gets the best out of what he has, and he's perfect for the FSG model. And that's what he done at Dortmund. That's what he done at Mainz as well. That's one of his blueprints in terms of his managerial career. But Pep Guardiola, he's been blessed to have managed Barcelona, managed one of the greatest ever players to ever, probably the greatest player to ever kick a footy in Leo Messi. And he openly says it. He says, if you only have to look at his interviews, he spent a lot of money in his managerial time, but he's still a very good manager to cope with the amount of egos in which he's had under his tenure of being a manager at City and Barca, and even at Bayern Munich as well. I know he did quite disappoint at Bayern. I think you all expect him to at least win the Champions League. Couldn't quite do that, but even though he's a checkbook manager, he's still a very good manager to coach these players. And we've watched City as well, and we've watched Liverpool, both teams, and even Thomas Tuchel to a certain extent. I know they've conceded quite a lot of goals this season, but Tuchel has got them very well coached. and you can understand their philosophy in terms of when you watch them, you're like, yeah, that's their pattern of play. That's how you fully expect the Chelsea side to play. But yeah, Jack has gone with. I don't think Hendo is finished at all. He is still world class, but certain players don't work together. Henderson with Fabinho and Thiago is one of our most consistent players. Yeah, Thiago very much heavily missed, but we're very heavily reliant on him playing a lot of minutes, and in recent times he's not been as fully available as we'd like. But that's where you question a lot of the squad players. They will have, and they have had, opportunities this season, and some of them do very much need to step up, and it's frustrating, but it's how top elite teams do cope. If you win the league come the end of May, it's how well you've coped with injuries, how well you've coached with in-game moments, whether you've had a 2-goal lead and you've let slip a draw or a loss. Liverpool this year have been very shocking in relation to holding leads, haven't we? We've been speaking on our post-match over last year, and we'll speak about Brentford tonight. That game was absolutely carnage. I think that was Jurgen Klopp's worst nightmare in terms of when he does watch a football game. I think all of us were pulling our hair out going, yes, we've scored 3 goals, but we've conceded 3 very, very poor goals, as good as Brentford were on that night. On another night, they come away with all 3 points due to I remember that last opportunity. I think they did score, but it was due to it was given as offside, if I'm not wrong. But let me know your thoughts. Keep on getting your comments in as well. Red's absolute legends. John Moore has gone with I'd play Fab, Hendo and Jones. Very much interested in that, mate. Jack 11 FIFA based off Brentford at the start of the season. I'd have had Fabinho, Henderson and Jones. Give Jones the freedom to do what he wants and help box them in. Yeah, he had a tremendous game, didn't he, Scholes? I think he did get a goal, and then we hooked him off, which was very surprising, because obviously I think he did get Liverpool's fair goal on that night, and then it was a very reminiscent of what we have seen. It did unfold in the next couple of months after that game. Liverpool not holding onto a lead, and our in-game management was absolutely a disgrace that game as well. Love to give Gordon another go as one of the front 3 also. That's interesting, that, John. I think a lot of people would agree with you there in relation. We've seen Harvey Elliott, as I said, come into this Liverpool side and very much flourish. But Gordon, it's a big shout, John. But I think Jurgen Klopp and all of us, we've seen the glimpses that we have with Gordon. I think K. Gordon, he can very much step up to the plate in terms of this Liverpool team. It is to say, if he did play against Brentford, you never know. Could be the rest could be history, as they say, in relation to his Liverpool career, that he just elevates his performances week in, week out. And we never look back in terms of that. 1 second, I want to sort the cat out. Must be an Everton fan, that cat. Never stays in my room when I'm talking about the Reds, does she? But let's get to Shane's comments. We have seen when Jurgen Klopp has been given the tools to compete, we can win trophies. Absolutely spot on there, mate. It's not like we've got Rafa or we've got Brendan Rodgers. I tell you, if that money was given to Jurgen Klopp, that the money was given to Rodgers, we trust Jurgen, don't we, Jane and everyone? We know that he will get the best out of his players, but he'll utilise his coaching resources, his scouting network, to say in relation to that as well. But absolutely spot on there, Shane. Spot on. How you doing, Gary? Absolute legends. Hope you had a lovely New Year, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Every single one of you, you're absolute legends. Even Jack, lad. The Moores family made a huge mistake not selling to the Arabs 20 years ago. Gary, I think, as I've just been harping on about, obviously the money coming into football, even more money now. I think Liverpool will eventually get taken over, but it'll be on FSG's terms. I think in terms of they will try their very best to get as much money as possible out of Liverpool as a brand in terms of if they did ever put it on the market. Obviously, I think did they buy Liverpool Football Club for like what, 300, 400 million? But what they've done very well is grown from a financial, commercial. If you look at Liverpool as a portfolio, we've got back up to the top of the league. Obviously, we've got such a plethora of great talent within the squads. We've got some of the world's best players in the squads. New training ground. They've improved the stadium as well, and obviously grew Liverpool into bigger things as well. And they brought in Jurgen Klopp. They've done quite a lot of stuff very well. But the odd hoo-ha that they do have sometimes where they take 10 steps forward and then they take 20 steps back. But hopefully the improvements of obviously Liverpool fan representation in the board now, it's just very positive news. It was great. That should have happened years ago, but it's a sign of positive changes at the football club. So hopefully we're not left with the reaction videos of every Reds and every top 8 sides, well, top European elite sides, fans going, we didn't want any part of this, but the owners of these big, so-called Big Six wanted to start a Super League. I think in the next coming years, it won't be, something will try and crop up again, whether that be from FIFA, whether that be from UEFA. I think, is it the South American teams? I don't know what tournaments was, Reds, let me know. South American teams competing in the Euro League or the whatever for some of the internationals. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. If FSG have the best interests, Liverpool are hard. They would sell up now. The Anfield Lark, it's starting to get to the point where FSG need to be responsible for the transition of the squad to a next generation of players. That's spot on there, mate. But Jurgen Klopp, hopefully it is Jurgen Klopp, but it takes a lot to manage Liverpool. We've seen how old Jurgen has grown over, obviously he is aging, but obviously managing a top elite side, all the managers lose the hair. I'm surprised Jurgen's still got hair now anyway, but I know Pep didn't have hair to start with, but that's probably because he went all grey and that, because it is stressful. It's so stressful to manage a top elite side, but it depends what Jurgen wants to do come the end of this current contract in which he got at the football club. If he turns around and says, I've taken Liverpool as far as I possibly can, hopefully he doesn't say that, but there is a realm of possibility where he did move on, and then it opened up a whole can of worms, really, in terms of who would you like to replace Jurgen, but that's a whole video in itself, mate. But yeah, I feel like you're spot on there. The new generation of players, of squad. I think you look at Liverpool, we've got one of the oldest squads within the Premier League. I think our age against Arsenal was like 29 years something, 29.7 or 8. Not 100% on that, but that was the average age of the starting lineup against Arsenal. But as well, spot on there. Yeah, John, for me, Jack, FSG need to start spending some of what their money now to get out the club. They can't sit there and make profits off our name. They can do whatever they want, John. They own Liverpool Football Club, which is a sad reality, but quite frankly, or if only all of us had a couple of billion in the bank to spend and buy Liverpool. But they've done a lot of positives, and this next 12 months, and John, I think all of you did see the Liverpool video a couple of years ago, where they did come out and say, if you watch it, go on the channel. I'll try and post it a bit later tonight if I can find it. It is on there, and I called it upon it. At that time, I said, this is the biggest period in FSG's history at Liverpool of owning Liverpool Football Club. And I outed them. I said, you need to back Jurgen Klopp because he is the greatest signing Liverpool have made in a very long time. And this man will take us on to success. And lo and behold, he won us the Champions League. And he won us our first league title in 30 years. But Jurgen's that type of manager not to be as arrogant to come out and say, yeah, I need a war chest. He's not that type of manager. But what he will say is, I need a bit of help. And the owners, FSG, I think in the next 12 months will be a massive statement, because at risk at disrupting not just the fans, but the management. Jurgen Klopp, the fact that he publicly outed FSG a couple of months ago, last summer, in January, wanting a centre-half. That's all he wanted, but obviously Konate wasn't available, supposedly, at that time. So he went out, and Jurgen said himself, the Championship wasn't his market, but he went out and bought Ben Davies from Preston for $500,000, and then the man didn't see any first team football, apart from obviously training ground. I think he was in charge of Liverpool's social media team at the time. So, and then Kabak, we've seen how very much he has struggled at Norwich, which is very disappointing. I wanted him to go to Norwich and very much thrive, but it's not looking positive for him this season. But it is massive, innit? Very much agree with what everyone's had to say. I personally, make sure I haven't missed anyone's comments. Shane, I personally would like to see Thiago will be sold in the summer. Is he injury prone? Not up to physicality of the Premier League. Shane, I think he very much did have a lot of injury concerns in the Bundesliga. I'm not even quite remembered anyway. And it's Liverpool's midfield. A lot of them are very injury prone in recent years. Obviously, the one positive factor about Gino Wijnaldum, the man literally missed about 4 games in about 5 years when he was at the football club, because he was that heavily reliant in terms of team selection, which is very positive. So I'd agree with that, Shane. Make sure I've got everyone. Hannah's replying, John, it's all fairness to FSG, they don't take money from the club at all. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Hannah. But we really want to be state own question mark. It doesn't sit right with me, Hannah. Yeah, but I think it will see a lot of football clubs owned by governments. You only have to look at Real Madrid, obviously Perez, and I think we were practically backed by the Spanish government, and obviously that's why when you see the European Cups, which they did win in like the 60s and 70s, well, not the 70s, but like back in the early days of the Champions League, they had the most money around that period, and that's why they won as many Champions Leagues as they have. I'll be honest, lads, this from Jack11. I'll be honest, lad, I'd love to see us transition Firmino into a number 8 and out and out box to box. I'd give him so much space to create. However, with his injuries and absence, it's not the time right now. Very much agree with that. Very interesting shout there, Jack. Would you agree with him? It's Bobby's the type of player. He's got the ability. Obviously, Jurgen, you've seen a lot of him when he was at Hoffenheim, and obviously Liverpool's coaching staff, scouting department, seeing him, and he's no one like Bobby, is there? We all love him, Bobby Dazzler. But yeah, he's got the ability to do that, mate. Jack, it's whether he could adapt to his movements. Yeah, it's very much, but he's such an intelligent player. I think he would. If Jurgen tomorrow asked him to play right back against Brentford, he'd do a tremendous job. If he was coached in the right way, because he's never done it. He's not a player that to say, no, I'm not going to play there. He's a player that plays for the share, plays for the football club, and wears his heart on his sleeve as a player, which we absolutely love him for that. John, Hannah alone, if you think of it, they loaned us the money for the ground. 100% will be interested on the loan, so they make money from us. Oh yeah, but yeah, I think they're just chatting to one another. But tried to trademark. Yeah, they very much did. Again, they do take money from the club. This is quite known for more many generations for the club. Yeah, absolutely love it. Speaking to one another. It's absolutely spot on. Shane, I would like to see the front three fresh and up in the summer. I would like to see Senor and Sadio Mane to leave. Interesting, Shane. We'd have to replace them with a lot of quality, though, Shane. if you look around Europe, I think there was links to the Atletico Madrid player, I've forgotten his name, a couple of months ago, before he did move to Real Madrid. Not Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. The Brazilian lad, you know who I mean. I think he was in the Bundesliga. He's similar to Bobby in terms of his playing style. Quite very progressive in terms of the way in which he does distribute the ball, in terms of his press as well. Fully respect your view, but they're businessmen end of, and they make money off us. If they didn't, they would just sold us a very long time ago. The Anfield Lark, I really should go after a player like Bellingham. The squad needs the new impetus. Go to the Swiss Rambles FHD accounts are all there. You can see, But yeah, it's why I created the channel, Hannah and everyone. So I love the fan interaction, and even when I do have me guests on as well, and everyone as well, no one's gonna ever agree with what I say. Some of the stuff I've come out with over the last couple of years, people have went, whoa. But it's the whole point of, obviously, that's why I love it. The Liverpool fans, I think, especially when Twitter, like, you've only got a certain amount of characters, and a lot of, when you do speak, it does get taken out of context. That's why I love creating the channel, and we will have, and if in the future we'll have a lot of shows where you can just jump on and get your views in if you wanted to. But you make the shows, everyone, the Liverpool family around the globe, against especially over here. I'm not saying they're taking the money from us. Yeah, absolutely spot on there, Deds. But we'll move on to Brentford. Enough about transfers and everything. But obviously, I did speak about Taki Minamino getting too much abuse last night. I think he took so much of the result. It was quite frankly ridiculous. A lot of players last night didn't step up to the level which was expected, but like it was with Ginny years ago when Liverpool used to lose a game or draw a game, it was always Ginny's fault, but seems to be Taki after last night's performance. But Brentford, Reds, let me know your score predictions in the comment section below. I'm just going to quickly get up. Brentford did suffer a 4-1 loss against Southampton. Bedmarek, Fernandez own goal, who's their new goalkeeper anyway. Brozier scored in the 49th minute, and Shea Adams, if you didn't see, on Tuesday night, which was a big result for Southampton in reality. But Brentford are, I think, about 12 points off the relegation zone. They've surprised quite a lot of teams and quite a lot of fans as well outside of Brentford, but I was going to say Daniel Farke, he was the ex-Norwich man. But Thomas Frank, obviously, he's a tremendous coach, and I think he will go very far in terms of the next couple of weeks and months and years' time. If he is to stay at Brentford, I think he will do a tremendous job. You only have to watch him on the touchline, and he's a breath of fresh air. He's very similar to Klopp in the way in which he presents himself in terms of the press conferences. He's very calm, composed, takes his time when he is speaking to the press as well, but he's a breath of fresh air. It's refreshing to see a coach of that ability, most importantly, but with that personality as well, to go hand in hand with the way in which his team do play as well. It's not going to be an easy game, is it, Reds, as we said. Let's quickly get the result up from a couple of months ago. Liverpool did take the lead twice against Brentford in that 3-3 win. 3-3 draw, sorry. Brentford were very, as I said at the top of the show, unlucky to not get a winner in that game. I think one of the goals did get disqualified for being offside. But Jota, Mane and Curtis were on the scoring charts that time. Let me know your score predictions. Reds in the comment section below when you're starting 11 if you have to pick. Obviously, we spoke about the midfield selection and the conundrum in which Jurgen Klopp will be faced with. For me, I'm going to go with a 1-0. I think it's just going to be one of those difficult games. Brentford will come to Anfield and you will create a lot of opportunities, but it's up to our lads at the back to very much snuff them out in relation to, obviously, Joel Matip. What a couple of months. What a year he's had, that man. Good old Joel Matip, we love him. Fabian, how you doing, Jack? Hey, Jack, watch out for Brentford to come and play like world beaters against us. Very Body saves their best games for us. Oh yeah, Fabian, they do, mate. Appreciate you tuning in, mate. One of my very long time viewers and subscribers to the channel. Very much absolutely made up to see everyone in the comments as well. But yeah, everyone, some half the time, it's when Liverpool play a team, Fabian said they always have the worldie, and then they play City and Chelsea a couple of weeks after, and they just open up. The defence just opens up and lets the likes of Chelsea and City just walk past them. But fingers crossed, Brentford can have an off day this weekend, which would be very positive. We should buy Rafinha from Leeds and that Lethal Martinez from Inter. Shane, two very good players, fingers crossed. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below in terms of score prediction. I'm going to go with it 1-0 to Liverpool. This is quite rare because I'm quite positive, aren't I? In relation to, I usually go quite positive for 3-0, but I think it will be a very difficult game, the way in which Thomas Frank will set up as I think I've forgotten his name. Yeah, right, Reds. The Brentford manager, you know what I'm talking about anyway. But thank you very much, everyone. Make sure we get to Shane's comments as well. Fabian, John, Hannah, John, the Anfield Lark, Jack11 FIFA, Gary as well, the 1892 Reds podcast as well, and I absolutely love it. Okay, links don't work. Oh well. Anna, obviously, if you want to link John or anyone, your links to the article, once this video has been uploaded, you can drop in your links in the comment section below as well. So if the video does stop, always continue to comment and discuss in the comment section below as well. Hannah and John, this is why I created the channel, for it to be a hub for just Liverpool fans to talk, and I agree to disagree with their thoughts, but everyone be respectful as always, which is always are, which is absolutely fantastic. But thank you as always, Reds, for tuning in as always, and for everyone that's dropped a like on the video. Really do appreciate it. But we will be live tomorrow, and hopefully we'll try and get a couple of guests on as well. So you're very welcome. Follow us on Jack Mac LFC on Twitter, and if you ever want to jump on the show, you're very welcome to. I'll get you. That's what we will do in the next coming weeks and months' time. We'll try to get a lot more of yous on. But I'm going to... Fabian's gone with... I'm going for a slow, painful 1-0 win against Brentford. I think I'd agree with that, mate, as well. Yeah, spot on there, Han. I think it'll finish... Another Fabian's gone with... he's gone with 2-1 to us. Jota and Taki to score. But yeah, the Anfield Lark, nice one, Jack. Hope we take the 3 points. Fingers crossed, Reds. Pretty sure we're good enough. But sometimes, which we've seen this season, and we all know, not just Liverpool, but football is a very fickle game. It's not as easy as us just going, right, yeah, get the ball in the box and score. But yeah, cheers, Reds. Have a lovely rest of your night. Whatever you do on your Friday night, sit back, relax, or if you didn't work, or if you had a good shift anyway, and look after yourselves, look after one another, look after your family and everyone. Stay safe and well, Reds, and we will be back tomorrow for another video as well. Put your notification tab on as well if you aren't getting your notifications for the video. If you have joined the video a bit late, put your bell notification on so you always do get notified. And everyone in the comments, and everyone if you're watching the live stream after it's been uploaded, thank you so much for all your support as always. And Reds, enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Sit back, relax. Yeah, cheers, Fabian, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode.